thank you, ladies, so much for being here. I've been so excited to do this with you. And I think we're just going to have so many fun things to talk about. But first and foremost, this is so not related to anything we're talking about today. First and foremost, have we updated our medical IDs in the health app on your iPhones?
Everyone has to do that.
Thank you for telling us to do that.
Yes.
We did it.
So not to bore y'all, but for those who don't know, I was in a bad accident, and my iPhone came in clutch as soon as my car was hit. My iPhone notified all of my. I know it was scary. My iPhone notified 911, EMS services, and all my emergency contacts. Sent them all a map pin of exactly where I was located. I didn't need to do a thing. I didn't need to do a thing. So for those of you who have an iPhone, I'm sorry, Android users, I don't know what the process is, but you're gonna go into your iPhone, search in your iPhone. Don't open up the web, just scroll to where you can search
you're looking
for
through
an
your
app,
apps.
right?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna type in medical ID.
And it looks like this.
Yep. That's going to show that. Mary's being very nice showing you her medical ID card.
She's our fan of life.
Yeah. We'll censor the personal information there.
But you have to click, the green has to be on.
The green has to be on.
So as Mary's showing you, you need to make sure those two things are toggled up at the top. If they're not toggled, 911 is not going to be notified. And then you make sure your emergency contacts are in there. Shout out to my bosses over at Allied Title. Because, yes, I do have them as my emergency contacts.
And they called you first.
Sorry, not sorry, Latney and Matt, but you were the first ones to reach out to me to save the day. So I highly, highly, highly recommend.
Must do. Yes.
Put your boss in there. And real estate agents, your cars are your offices.
Yes.
And I was hit by a crazy driver. And so protect yourselves.
Yes.
Get a good seat for your fur babies, because that's what saved my girl.
Aww.
And update your medical IDs.
Yes. Well, and it was important to have your boss, right? Because you were on your way to a closing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right?
100%.
People don't want to be sitting there. They need to know, right?
Exactly. It's exactly why they're in there.
So glad you're okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
I know. Me too. Well, let's get into some really fun stuff today, because today we're talking real estate, but make it Swiftie edition.
Yes.
We're all Swifties in this room here.
Big time Swifties.
So let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
With the spring season coming up, how do we prepare?
So I think great question.
Go first.
Yes.
Right.
So we like to think of the spring season like opening day at the Eras Tour, right? So we as agents have been setting the stage for months, right? We've been working.
Painting.
Yes, exactly. Staging, painting, prepping our sellers, prepping our buyers, right? And so our sellers, they're set the stage, and we have our buyers, they're tailor, right? Yeah. We're here to guide them. We're the stage managers. We're making sure they're choreographed, they know the steps, they know what they're doing. And
then I'm I feel like we're out of the woods, right? It has been winter. We are so ready. I feel like even in the lowest, crash of '08, height of COVID, everywhere in between, it is always spring market in DC. So it's just, we are out of the woods. We are ready. We need that inventory.
Yes.
We're all ready.
We're ready for it.
Ready
all
for
the Swiftie
it.
references.
Are you ready for it? Are we allowed to sing? We're not allowed to sing.
We're not allowed to sing,
but we're ready for it.
Yes. And I think we're going to keep putting these Easter eggs through as Taylor would, right? So see if you guys can catch them all while we're talking.
And we'll do a playlist at the end.
Ooh. Yes.
We'll add it somewhere.
Okay.
But yes.
Well, yes.
Next question.
Yes. Next question. What advice would you give to a potential buyer or seller who is intimidated by the spring market?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, it's you belong to me, right?
Yes.
I am going to get you through every inch of what you need to do to get that house. I'm going to get you through every inch of selling that house.
Fearless, Sarah.
It's totally fearless. So for me, it's you belong to me. We're going to take care of you, and we're going to get it done.
And I think real estate's about finding your match, right?
Yeah,
that's the thing that we're doing. We're matchmakers. Mm-hmm. And so you belong to me is perfect for that.
I always say the right house finds you. And it's we just help you facilitate that. So that's,
And you feel it. You know it.
You totally know it.
You do.
Right.
I see that all the time at the closing table, too, where people will say, you know what, our first offer was rejected, but, they're always happy about it by the time they're at the closing table.
It's always the right house.
It's always the right one.
I can't tell you that at the beginning, but it's always the right house. You belong to us. We're going to get you through it. And it's always the right house.
Yes.
Always the right house.
I completely agree. Are buyers truly more serious about buying in the spring, or are they just more active?
So I feel like the spring market is.
Are you ready for it?
That's how we go into the spring season, right? Like we're trying to be prepped and ready, and like we need to bring our A game.
A total A game. And yes, are you ready for it? Let the games begin. We're here. Yes.
It's true, you guys. And for those who are watching and aren't from the DC area, DC is a poppin' area. Like spring market here is our hottest time of year.
Yeah.
Like not summer hot, but hottest in terms of that's when it's busy here.
Yes. Crash of 08, crime COVID. It's
all
always
of it.
Totally.
Spring.
And
all of
I
it.
tell my clients, right, like this whole process is like playing chess, right? You have us to kind of see multiple steps ahead because we've played this game so many times, right?
Yes.
We know.
Yes.
And so they have to trust us that we've got our eyes on what's going to happen.
They might be playing the game, but you're the chess master.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. I love it. So are you guys seeing more life event driven listings like divorces, relocation, downsizing versus testing the market?
The way that I kind of think about this is like wish lists and who's got them, right? So in a strong seller's market like we're in now, right? It's the sellers with the wish list, right? They're the ones saying like, okay.
Highest price.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and we say like, we got you, right? We are going to execute. And in a buyer's market, it's the opposite, right? It's the buyers with the wish list. They're saying, come on, sellers, boss up, settle down, like give me your best number.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have, I feel like what you said is spot on. It's your wish list. We're going to make your wish list happen.
Yeah.
Everyone's circumstances are different.
Yeah.
I mean, I even see it at the closing table. It's such a true mix of first-time home buyers or, someone's getting divorced and having to sell or they're relocating. DC is a very political area, so we see a lot of that here too. Everyone's unique. Every circumstance is unique.
Right.
From what you're seeing, are buyers more focused on monthly payment comfort than purchase price right now?
So I think that's a shift that's happened in this market over time, right? Because interest rates have gone up and things have gotten more expensive, it's less about like, what do I have to pay for this home, but how much is it going to cost me on a monthly basis? And so I think that's something they're focused on.
I do feel like my biggest thing on rates is like, you marry the house, you date the rate. Like, just get it. It's all about you. Get the house. We can deal with the rate later, right? It has come down, thank goodness. And, as it continues to come down, you'll refi.
Yeah.
So,
and I think those people that did that, like, right, that trusted us in the down market when rates were higher, they feel like the high was worth the pain. They're refinancing,
so worth the pain,
right?
Right? Yes.
100%.
They got the house without competition, and now they just refi.
And now it's more comfortable.
Yep.
And on my side of things, just as a settlement agent, I'm seeing the same thing. People who finally came to terms with the fact that it was just more about like, we just need to get into homeownership and make sure we can afford it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
So Mary and Kate, what you might have different answers to this, but what is your advice right now in this market to first-time home buyers?
For me, it's your love story, right?
Yes.
Like, you just got out of, like, I just helped a young girl, whatever. She got her first job. It's like starting to build wealth, right? And you have, the condo market in DC is so easy to, like, get started and start building your wealth. And then it's like you get engaged, you get married, and then it's like your love story of finding that first house together where you have your babies, and then you graduate.
House.
It's true. It's the lover house. So, like, for me, first-time home buyers, it's your love story, and we're building wealth with you, and this is the beginning of a long, beautiful journey.
And before you answer, Kate, on that, I love that so much because I feel like you see a lot of women who are waiting to be married or be more established.
You go buy that condo.
Yes.
Then you keep that condo as a rental property.
Yes.
Then when you're 90, you're living off that income.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
I'm sure, we have such great financial people. Like, I always say, I'll pay for the first hour to get you started so that you're, continuing on and learning and growing. So, yeah.
And I think also for first-time buyers, right, good enough is good enough. Like, the goal is to get on that first rung of the property ladder, right? And so taking our life example, right? When we moved here, we traded down because we moved from Chicago and the DC market is so much more expensive. Yeah. And so we traded down, we gave up a lot just to get in here, and then we sold that and bought the next one.
See?
And that one, first one was one bedroom.
House love story.
Yes. Second one was 3 bedrooms, and then we sold that and bought our house, which is like our forever home.
Yeah.
But
forever.
Had we not done that, we never would have made it to the home.
100%.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. Are clients surprised when they learn that Zillow doesn't show them all MLS listings?
I love this. So Zillow, because we've been talking about like the Eras tour, right? So Zillow is like getting you in the nosebleeds, right? Zillow will get you, you'll see the show, but you're going to miss a lot of the details. So we as agents, we as agents have backstage passes, like VIP seats.
Tuesday's pricing tour, we see it before we even start, right?
Correct. We are doing all the work to make sure that our buyers have full access to everything. We get them the set list before it drops, right?
Yes.
Floor seats. Yes.
Yeah.
I love the way you just put that, because I feel like a lot of people just like to window shop, if you will, on Zillow. And what you just said is, it just reframes the narrative. Like, this isn't everything you can be seeing.
Totally.
Well, my negative was that it's the smallest man who's like people. And I didn't say that.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I have good friends who are, you know, because I want people to realize it's a lead gen, right?
Yes.
People pay money to get your name, right? So if you aren't getting referrals, right? Like, most of our business comes from referrals or repeat or sphere or, you know, so that's the hard part, is that it's like, I feel like people don't realize, like, oh, the Zillow search, and you click and, you know, you're getting someone who paid for your lead versus the experienced agent who's helped your friends, who's had success story after success story. We don't need to pay for leads, right?
Yes.
So I get it. Like, again, I don't want to ditch, but to me, that's, you know,
it's another side of the coin.
Totally.
And information is power, and that's something I'm sure a lot of people watching would not have known.
Yeah.
I mean, this is real estate, no
not everything
questions.
shows up
like,
on Zillow, and people should be aware. And it's a lead generation business. It's not a real estate, we're taking care of you business.
It's a limited seat at the Eras Tour.
Yes.
A limited few seats.
Exactly. There's a column in your way.
I love that.
I actually had those seats, though. So
that's okay.
It's okay.
Some of us go there. Right.
No, sometimes it's still worth it. It's just funny.
It's still Taylor.
It's still Taylor. We're still gonna know.
Love it. Yeah.
What was the show she had where everyone was on the hill outside of the? It was in Europe somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? Like, if I was there, we're doing the same thing.
People in the parking lots and things like that.
Yeah, magical.
Just to hear the music.
It's magical. So, how has your listing strategy evolved compared to the past 2 springs, let's say? What are you doing differently in 2026?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, please do.
I'm like, baby, we're the new romantics, right?
Oh,
and we wear it
favorite
proudly,
song on 1989.
Yeah, I feel like my boss always talks about, you know, and it's so true. It's either price, presentation, or patience. You know, we're about to play our ace. It is, we've presented the property perfectly.
Yes.
You know, we get the pricing as exact as we can to get the most activity and people through the door. Yeah. You know, so I feel like it's like this whole new romantics where the property has to be sexy, and we're about to play our ace with showing you and having it priced right.
Yeah.
And I feel like for buyers especially, about to play my ace, we got you set up with the lender so we could waive financing. So you're 100%, like, we're waiving financing, you're already through that process. We got the, you know, we see it the day it launches. You know, if there's a bidding war, you know, there's so many strategies to the bidding war, but it's like we're about to play our ace.
Yeah.
That's my
and for me, it's like Bejeweled, right? So like because buyers are paying so much more and they're more critical, right? So when they walk in that room for the first time, the whole place has to shimmer. It has to be like
dazzling.
It has to be dazzling.
That makes a lot of sense. People want to know they're getting their bang for their buck in this.
We went from Clara Bow to Stevie Nicks to Taylor.
Yes.
There's your 3 in the last 3 years.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. So this show is called Real Estate No Dumb Questions. So let's take it back to the basics for a moment. What does bidding war actually mean?
So that's a great question. And I think it's two people falling in love with the same house. A little bit better than revenge, right? So story starts, it's hot, it's summer.
Yes.
We said DC's the hot market is the spring market, right? And I had him right there where I wanted him, right? So my buyers are ready to write an offer. They're geared up. And
then all of a sudden,
Mary steps in, sabotage, right? Now her clients are writing too.
Yep.
And so it's those two people in love with the same person or house, right, that now have to vie for attention.
And who's getting revenge, right?
Yes.
But I have to say, just to put buyers and happily at ease on that, it just means it wasn't the right house for you,
yes.
right? If I go in and I win over you, your buyers have something better out there for them, and vice versa.
Correct.
Yes.
I've never had a buyer not find the right place and be so grateful for the house they lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because my lyric to this is bigger than the whole sky, because I feel like you're going to go in, like people keep asking like, oh, but what if, you're going to go in, you're going to feel it. This is bigger than the whole sky and we're going to get it done. We're going to escalate more than other people because we know that this is our property.
Yes. And you want them to walk away knowing like, okay, I gave it everything I got. It's okay if I lose it, and I'm psyched if I win it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I agree. It's like I was talking to you guys about this earlier, but just as the settlement agent, as the person at the closing table doing that closing with people, I hear stories all the time. You know, we didn't win the first offer, but it all makes sense now. This is the one. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I've never heard someone say to me like, man, I really wish that first offer I put in went through because I hate what I'm buying now. Like, that just doesn't happen.
True. The right house finds you.
Yes. And, like, to bring it back into Taylor Swift, right? Like, think about all the guys she's dated and, like, she's talking about now. Yes. Like, what's the song where she's so glad that she, like...
I feel like, you know, she married the jock of all jocks,
totally,
right?
But she said, I thought I had it right once, maybe twice, but I did not.
Yeah.
Right? That's what losing an offer is.
Yeah, it's true. It's going to be the right one. It's great.
Wait for your Travis Kelce.
Yeah, wait for your Travis Kelce.
He's out there.
And we'll be your matchmaker.
That's right.
It's perfect.
So, Kate and Mary, can you talk to me and our viewers about what the real estate agent lender relationship looks like?
Yeah, so this is, New Year's Day for me, right? So there's a line about cleaning up bottles on New Year's Day. I want the person as the lender to be the one who's not just there for the good, easy transactions, but is there helping me clean up when the party is a mess, right?
You and I actually have a transaction where that really happened.
100% we did. That was one of our hardest transactions, completely, but we made it through.
We made it through because that lender and you picked up those bottles.
Yes.
It was amazing.
She had a bad lender that I had advised against and then finally went to my lender.
And we were patient and, you know, it won it. Yeah.
Correct. And so, like, it's not like selling Sunset, right? Like, we are not the ones out there, like, toasting and, like, throwing parties. We're the ones holding the friend's hair in the bathroom and cleaning up the messes. Like, that's what a real agent does.
Yes.
My, like, tidbit on lending is just, I feel like they compare it to getting a root canal. And my my Taylor lyric is... If you could tell all the things they threw at you, right?
Yes.
Like it'll be the day before settlement, and they will be like, can I have proof of employment? And you're like, I gave you 6 W-2s.
Right.
I gave you 5 years of tax returns. And the day of settlement, they want proof of employment. So all the things they threw at you, like, we're going to get through it. And I always say it's preventing the crash of '08. So, like...
100%.
That's exactly what it is.
As painful as it is so worth that throw because...
It's all for consumer protection.
Exactly.
To make sure you can repay your loan.
Yes.
Well, and you need the lender who's going to tell you, don't buy the furniture, like, put it in the cart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And after closing, hit purchase.
Then you do it.
Right? So you need that person who's guiding the process as we do too.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
It's true. It's such an important relationship. And the sooner you get that partner team, the better you are. Again, about to play my ace. We got you through lending. We're both here and we're going to get you to the end. So,
totally.
100%. I just want to add something to that is for some of the viewers who don't know, as a former lender myself, like I'll be the first one to say, not all lenders are created equal.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Not all lenders are created
so
equal.
True.
So when your agent is saying, listen, I have someone that I trust that I'm referring to you, they're not making a buck from their lender. Like, they're not allowed to. That's not legal.
Correct.
They're doing it because that's the lender they trust, that they know will do a good job for you. It's the same for us on the title side as title companies. Not all title companies are created equal. Yes. So when your agents are recommending title companies to you, to lenders, it's because they trust them.
Yes.
It's anyone, not anyone.
Yes.
Most of these companies can do a good job on an easy deal.
Yes.
It's how are they going to do on a difficult transaction.
Correct.
That's what matters.
Especially with price points here and such.
Yeah, 100%. So I just wanted to add that. I'm sure there's a lot of viewers who are wondering, what's my agent getting out of this? Nothing other than knowing you're going to be in good hands.
Well, exactly. The only thing it's doing is reducing stress. Our transaction was stressful because they didn't
use the lender you were back. Exactly.
They didn't take the advice, and then they ultimately had to because the other lender dropped the ball.
We're going to get it done.
Yeah.
100%.
And we got it done.
Of course we did.
100%. So what makes a market a buyer's market versus a seller's market?
It's funny because what comes to mind with this one is I'm feeling 22, right? So condos in DC right now, you have the pick of the litter at 22, right? You're not funneled into your older age. A buyer's market, there's a lot out there. You could still negotiate. You can have contingencies. So my take is I'm feeling 22.
Yes.
I love that.
And I love my eras tour metaphors. So for me, a seller's market is Eras Tour US, right? People are fighting over a limited supply of tickets, right? And so they are basically paying a premium, right, to get a seat.
A certain neighborhood or something.
Correct, exactly. And a buyer's market is like Eras Tour Europe, right? So that is, you could get whatever seats you want. You could take your time. You didn't have to be there on the pre-list, right?
Right.
You could get it, and it was,
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense to me. I couldn't get tickets in the U.S. I had to fly to Paris.
But that's exactly it, right?
I thought it was just
and
as
it
fun.
ended up being cheaper than buying tickets here.
And cooler because I was in Paris.
Way cooler,
Yes, way cooler.
Did you guys see Taylor on the Eras Tour, and where?
So I saw Reputation here.
I saw Red Reputation too at FedEx Field.
Yes.
It's funny because that's the only one I missed. I've been to every tour but Reputation.
Oh my
so it's
gosh,
so cute how we're together.
Totally.
Yeah. And I saw Eras in the nosebleed in Pittsburgh, but it was worth every minute
that's where
and
Alexis
second.
went.
Yeah.
Shout out Alexis. Yeah, same
Alexis,
thing.
right.
That's awesome. What is the difference between being under contract and pending?
So I am going to take this. It's like a white stained dress you can't wear anymore. So under contract, it might be like a stain on your jeans that might come out. So if the buyer goes through a home inspection contingency and voids the contract, that's active under contract. But a white stained dress you can't wear anymore is pending.
Yes.
You're never getting that house again. They're paying cash. They're going to closing. It would have to be, that stain's not coming out.
It's set.
It's set.
Yeah.
It's set. Yeah.
And I would take it as, let's talk about Taylor and Travis for a little bit, right? So, under contract is when they made their relationship official, right? It went out publicly and they could still walk away, right? Everything was, moving forward, but they both had outs. Yes, exactly. Pending is when he proposed. He put the EMD on the line, right, with the ring.
Got it.
And now, to get out of it's going to cost them.
Yeah, right.
I never thought about it that way. I've been in real estate for 15 years.
Well, you never
But
talk
Taylor
it from
has
a Taylor
so many
lens.
lessons for us.
That's right. That's why professors teach Taylor Swift stuff in universities.
We're doing
You're doing that.
Yes. We're doing real estate graduate class in Taylor Swift.
And Taylor Swift, yes.
Language.
There you go.
This is so
to break it down for you guys, make it easier to digest.
Yes.
I never thought about that.
That white stained dress is never
coming out.
Never coming out. Under contract, you might have an option.
Yeah.
It's good.
So true. So what does days on market entail?
To me, it's now it's like a shake it off. Right?
Yes.
It used to be, oh my gosh, days on market. Oh my gosh, days on market.
Over.
We've had something on for 52 days and all of a sudden got a bidding war.
Yes.
Right? You had two people. I feel like people indeed, people what they can't have. So you've been looking at that house, you've been looking at the house, wait, and then all of a sudden the listing agent calls and says they have another offer, all of a sudden you have 2 offers on a house that's been on
that's how it always
for
works
52
out,
days,
isn't it?
right? Like,
totally.
So, to me, shake it off. Don't necessarily, like, that's not...
It's not ending things, right?
It's not, no.
Taylor had to wait a long time to find her Prince Charming, right?
Right.
And so it didn't mean she wasn't valuable. It didn't mean she wasn't a catch. She just had to find the right person.
That's so true. That's so true. I love that. We're shifting gears into the last segment of Taylor's version of real estate.
Yes.
So, if the spring 2026 market had a soundtrack, what Taylor Swift song would you put on it?
Do you want to take it first? Yes. No, give us 2.
Right. Well, and I'll maybe, right. So, it's Life of a Showgirl.
Yes.
Like, clearly, it's one of those things where I always say Life of a Realtor, hey, thank you for the lovely keychain.
Yes.
Like, we are ready for the hustle.
Yes.
Like, we are in here to get dirty with you, to find the house, to find it off market. If it's on market and there's a bidding war, we're in it, playing our ace. So, Life of a Showgirl, like, you can't even describe, like, if you have a baby and I can only talk to you at 6 in the morning or 10 at night, like, that's us, right?
Yes.
Life of a Showgirl, it does not matter. We are performing for you all the time.
Totally. Yeah. And I think that's a great song because, like, we also knew what it entailed, right? Yeah. We've been doing this long enough,
right?
Like, so we're like,
I know exactly what to do.
Yeah, showgirl, right?
With
we're
a
like,
smile.
Yes. We are experienced and we're here for it, and we're not
sweeter than a peach, but boy, I'm gonna get you that house, right?
Yes.
Something I was gonna add to what you two were just saying about Life of a Showgirl was, as a Swiftie, we all know, like, that tour wasn't just any tour.
Yeah.
And, like, it was not just the tour of her career, but, like, arguably, like, the tour of the century.
Yes,
like, she made, like, new milestones with that tour. She, as you're saying, she put her heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, it's not just, like, we're in our showgirl era, like, this one time. It's like, this market is different, and we have all these years of experience to make this, like, bigger, better, the performance of the century type thing.
Totally.
So I love that.
And for me, it's clean, right? So things have been really unstable here, right? We've come through some storms.
Flush some things out.
Yes, correct. Things have, like, locally, nationally, internationally been a little unstable. And so now the spring market feels really like a spring refresh, right? Yeah. Like a shower. We've been drowning a little bit. We're ready to take a deep breath and get back into it.
That's so true. That's so true. I love it. All right. So Taylor has bought everything from Tribeca penthouses to Rhode Island beachfront estates. If she were house hunting in D.C. or Northern Virginia this spring, where would you put her? Georgetown, McLean, Old Town? Kate, you go first.
Okay, so she gave us our wish list, right? So she wants, like, the block to look like, have a couple kids, have the whole block looking like Travis, right? So that could be Spring Valley, but she also said they want to have people tell them to leave them the F alone.
Yeah.
And that they do, right? So that makes me think it would be more like Mass Ave Heights or Kalorama Heights, where the Clintons and Obamas live. Yes. And Mary and I, Taylor, call us, we'll get you the driveway, and we'll throw in the basketball hoop.
So if I was going to put Taylor somewhere, it's so funny how you're a DC girl and I'm suburbia. Like, I'm more of her Evermore. Like, I know she just purchased in Ohio. I'm from a small town in Ohio. And I would have her out in Middleburg, Virginia with wineries. She could bake her bread. She could have horses. So I'm more of the Evermore, like, that's where I would put her. Middleburg.
And that makes so much sense.
Christmas trees,
yes,
right?
Beautiful, right?
Yes.
It's like that whole vibe, right?
Yeah.
Well, she could have the best of both worlds that way. Wine country and be super remote. Like, I love both those.
And we'll help her ride both, right?
Of course.
She can
you
have what she
deserve
wants.
it, girl.
Yes,
You've
she
earned
yes.
it. You've
I hope
earned
you get
it.
what you want, and we'll help you.
Yes.
Yeah. Best of the best right here.
It's all about you. Yes.
So in today's market, what do people need to be keeping in mind when they're going to prep their home for sale?
I have to say, my Taylor Swift lyric for this is Band-Aids don't fill bullet holes, right?
Correct.
Like an agent will come in and just kind of like rearrange some furniture. Oh, no.
No.
Like, I feel like people want HGTV. They want move-in ready. Sometimes it's so much easier. Let me find you a place to go. You move out, we stage, present it to the nines. Like, it's price, presentation. I know I keep talking about this, but it's so important. So like a Band-Aid cannot fill a bullet hole. You need to do it. You need to do it right. You need to get people in the door. You need to, not just price it right, present it right. And we can help you do every inch of that easily.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And we're out talking to agents and buyers every day. So we know what you have to do
to get it right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
To really fill that bullet hole.
Right. It's true. It's true.
Yes.
I love
feel
that
like
too. That's a perfect way of putting that. When I bought my first home, I don't own that home anymore, but I learned that sort of, not the hard way. It was a great experience, but I was so blown away with the cosmetic side of everything.
Finishes.
The aesthetic blew me away. The cathedral ceiling.
That's what's going to get you in the door.
That's what got me in the door. And then what I didn't realize was, all these things they fixed was like just to get it sold. It wasn't actually fixed, so I had a lot of work I needed to do. It was worth it. It was the home I wanted regardless.
Yes.
But it was just something that I paid attention to more when I was buying my next place.
Yeah.
So, like, pay attention more to those details. Don't get super distracted by, yes, that's important, but Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes. So
correct.
pay
And I think
attention.
that's another reason why the buyer agent matters so much, right? Because you're going to see the shimmer, the jewels, right? You're going to see what's been bedazzled, right?
Bejeweled.
Exactly. And it's our job to tell you, like, hey, by the way, the basement smells.
Right. Be mindful, right. Yeah. Which there's always a solution,
correct.
right?
There's a way through, but you want to know it going in. I think that's what the key to your point. Like, you still would have bought it, but it would have been nice for someone to flag that for you.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. I get it.
Yeah.
Love it. I'm so glad we did this. Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting us go there.
No, us Swifties need a different way to break down real estate.
True. She does so much for us.
She does so much for us. We love you, Taylor.
We want to give back.
We want to give back 100%. And for those of you Swifties out there, I hope we were able to decode some real estate talk for you in a way that makes sense to us.
Yes.
And get excited for the playlist.
That's
Yes.
right.
The playlist
is coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Leah.
This was awesome.
Thank you. Fabulous Ally title.